Good morning, friends. Today, in ratio and proportion, I will explain you some compositions of the ratio. Composition of ratio means what is compound ratio, what is duplicate ratio, what is duplicate ratio, what is sub-duplicate ratio, what is sub-duplicate ratio, and reciprocal ratios. See, in composition of ratio, first is compound ratio. Compound ratio indicates product of the antecedent and the product of the consequence. That is, in a ratio of two or more ratios, product of the antecedent of ratios and the product of consequent of the ratios, that is known as the compound ratio. So compound ratio is the ratio of product of antecedents of the ratios divided by product of the consequents of the ratio. That is, if A and B and C and D are the two ratios, here the product of antecedent, that is A into C, and the product of the consequence is B into D. So A into C upon B into D, this ratio is known as the compound ratio. So compound ratio, that is very much important. That is product of the antecedent and the product of the consequents of the different ratios, that is known as the compound ratio. Now second is duplicate ratios. As the name shows, duplicate. That is, if the same ratio, for example, A upon A and the B upon B, to same ratio, then product of the antecedent and the product of the consequent. So compound ratio with two equal roots. That is A upon B ratio to B upon B. It means it is A square, B square, or ratio of A square and B square. So duplicate ratio, that is a compound ratio of the two equal roots. That is A ratio B. So A ratio B means duplicate, that is A square and B square. So A square ratio to the B square. That is known as the duplicate ratio. And if we take duplicate ratio, that is, it is again the compound ratio of the three equal roots. Here in duplicate case, compound ratio of the two equal roots, that is A and the B. So antecedent is the A square, consequent is the B square. In the same way, in the case of the duplicate ratio, that is also a compound ratio of the three equal roots. That is A into A ratio B into B, that is AQ ratio to BQ. This is known as the duplicate ratio. Now come to the sub-duplicate ratio. Sub-duplicate ratio means under root value. So for any ratio, sub-duplicate ratio is the under root value. Sub-duplicate ratio means any ratio, sub-duplicate is the under root A and under root Y. For example, 9 ratio 16. It can be written in the form of the under root 9 and the under root 16. That is 3 ratio 4. So 3 ratio 4 is the sub-duplicate ratio of 9 and 16. Now fifth is subtriplicate ratio. Subtriplicate ratio means for any ratio, subtriplicate ratio is A under root 3, 3 under root B. Suppose 27 and 64 is the ratio, then subtriplicate ratio is the 3 under root 27, 3 under root 27, that is 27 to the power 3 and 64 to the power 3, that is 3 ratio 4. So subtriplicate ratio 4 is the under root value of the 3. So 27, 64, so under root 3, 27 is 3, under root 64, 3, that is 4. And the reciprocal ratio is the reciprocal of any ratio. If A and B are the two ratios, then reciprocal is 1 upon A ratio to 1 upon B. So if 3 and 4 are the ratio, then reciprocal will be 1 upon 3 ratio 1 upon 4. So these are the some property in the composition of ratio. In my next video I will explain you some more property. So if you like my videos, please share and subscribe. Thanks very much.